Imagine a world with unlimited freedom. No rules, no consequences, nobody telling you no. At first, that sounds like paradise. But pause for a second. Who wins in that world? Is it the peaceful family trying to live honestly? Or the strongest, loudest, most aggressive people in the room? Because history tells us something uncomfortable but true. Without justice, liberty doesn't belong to everyone, it belongs to whoever can take it. So today we're asking a serious question. Can there be real liberty without blind justice? And the answer matters because how we answer it shapes our laws, our policing, and even how we talk about immigration. Liberty does not mean do whatever you want. It means the freedom to live your life without fear, without coercion, and without someone else violating your rights. John Locke warned that without fair laws, society falls into a state of nature, a place where might makes right. And that is not freedom, that's chaos. Blind justice is what prevents that chaos. It means the law applies equally, regardless of wealth, power, politics, or emotion. Think of it like a game. If the referee only enforces the rules sometimes, or only against certain players, the game collapses. Not because the rules are bad, but because they aren't enforced fairly. Liberty only works when justice is consistent. So, why blind justice must be emotion free? This is where people get uncomfortable because humans are emotional and sympathy is natural. But law cannot be emotional. Courts don't exist to ask, how do we feel about this person? They exist to ask, did the law apply and was it broken? Once emotion replaces equality, justice stops being blind. And when justice isn't blind, liberty becomes selective. Selective liberty isn't liberty at all, it's favoritism. This is why law enforcement matters. Police are not meant to replace compassion, they are meant to apply the law evenly. When laws exist but aren't enforced, they become suggestions, and suggestions only protect people who already have power. Without consistent enforcement, crime rises, communities lose trust, vigilantism replaces justice, and ordinary people live in fear. Law enforcement doesn't remove liberty, it creates the conditions where liberty can exist. Immigration is one of the hardest topics because it pulls at the heart. Yes, many people crossing borders are desperate. Yes, many are fleeing hardship. And yes, sympathy is human and appropriate. But here's the uncomfortable truth: sympathy cannot override the law, or justice stops being blind. If laws exist, they must apply to everyone: the struggling family, the economic migrant, the drug trafficker, the gang member. The law cannot choose favorites. Once enforcement becomes selective, we send a dangerous message that rules matter, but only for some people. That isn't compassion, that's inequality. True fairness means legal immigrants are respected, citizens are protected, and violations are addressed consistently without bias. You can have a heart and still have borders. Ironically, weak enforcement hurts the very people emotional arguments claim to protect. When borders collapse, criminal networks expand, drugs like fentanyl spread, human trafficking increases, exploitation of migrants skyrockets. Lawlessness doesn't create mercy, it creates predators. Blind justice protects the weak by limiting the strong. Look at societies with strong, impartial law enforcement: Singapore, Switzerland, Japan. Those nations enforce laws strictly and evenly. And the result? Low crime, high trust, high personal freedom. Meanwhile, places where law enforcement is undermined, we see rising violence, declining civil liberties, reduced freedom for ordinary people. The pattern is consistent. Strong rule of law equals stronger liberty. This is the key takeaway. You don't have to choose between compassion and justice. You just can't let compassion replace justice. Sympathy belongs in policy discussions, humanitarian aid, and legal reform. But once laws are in place, They must be enforced equally, because liberty survives only when justice is blind. So, can there be liberty without blind justice? No. Law enforcement is not the enemy of freedom. It is the structure that protects it. If we want real liberty, we must support fair enforcement, demand accountability, reject selective justice, and uphold laws without bias. Because freedom isn't the absence of rules, it's the presence of fair ones. If this message resonates with you, leave a comment. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe liberty deserves protection. And most of all, thanks for watching.